guys, this is Sandy White from Simply Fit, your number one health and wellness cheerleader. And we are back with Cholin Moy, and we're talking all things Chinese, herbal, medicine, you name it. Put your questions in. If you don't get them answered, we will answer. But on today's segment, she's going to be covering herbal medicine, liver detox, and then we'll give you guys a little bonus, possibly if we have enough time, a little teaser. But guys, we thank her for coming on. She has been in this industry of teaching and talking about Chinese medicine for well over 20 years. And she has her practice, which she deals with a lot of stress and anxiety and immunity challenges and sleep. And she we'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that. And she's also a best-selling author, The Smart Woman's Guide to Get Pregnant Naturally Over 40. And if you guys don't know, like I got pregnant late in the stage. So you got to have your body, tip top shape for them little people when they decide they want to come in. So she'll cover all of these natural remedies because one of the things I want y'all to know, we're not getting our nutrients like we need to from our farmland because of the way that they're taking care of our land. So this is why she's coming on for the entire season to get you guys in shape. And I want to thank WYTV7 for allowing Simply Fit to be on their platform, because we're able to bring you guys wonderful segments like the one with Cholin with alternative options that you guys can implement into your life. So thank you, WYTV7. And guys, if you want to have a 30-minute free consultation so that you can jumpstart your health and wellness, go to the website, sign up. We are all in for making 2022 your best year ever. And look, mask mandates are coming off. Y'all got to stop eating. So let's make this happen. Let's work together so we can get y'all where y'all need to go. And without further ado, welcome to the show again, Cholin. How are you today?
Great. Thank you so much, Sandy. I was just, as you were talking, I was like, mask mandates, it's going to be bikini season before.
Yes. But the thing is, with the mask mandates, people really, even though it's covering half your face, it's almost like it's like an invisible veil, and people have been doing stuff that's not really good for their body. So let's jump into how the herbs can actually help people, because that's something simple that they can implement in their everyday life. So I want you to take it away on so we can get started on what's a simple herb that they can get started with.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, so obviously before before the cameras were rolling, we were talking about springtime, and it's a great opportunity to do a liver detox. And for people who are struggling with losing weight, have a lot of take a lot of medications, all kinds of medications, have a lot of inflammation in their body, that's usually a very good indication of why they may be struggling with energy, sleep, digestion, all of those kinds of things. And a lot of times we just don't know where to start. Should we, diet, exercise, all of those things. And important really is you got to take care of your liver. And so, but you don't need to keep adding a lot of stuff into your system, because your liver is going to need to filter that as well. So what you can do is very simple, is you're drinking water, you want to add some lemon, right? Because that's going to help to cleanse your system. Teas like thistle, stinging nettle, and dandelion, those are also really good for helping to clear the liver, right? And then as you're removing the inflammation and allowing your body to really do what it does, what it's supposed to do and what it does best, then it's going to be a lot easier for doing things like losing weight, having better sleep, and also more energy. Right. And then you're going to have more motivation. It's also going to change the mood. because when we have a lot of inflammation in our system, that actually changes the chemistry of our brain. And you see people get very depressed, and then what do they want? They want to reach for sugar or chocolate or other kinds of starchy food, or a lot of processed food, because that is like an immediate dopamine hit, right? And so when we're feeling down, everyone goes, I'm going to reward myself with, something sweet. But in fact, that's also an indication of looking at that there are some chemicals that are maybe out of balance, right?
So, I love the fact of what you were saying. Spring is coming. Well, summer is coming. Good time to, do a liver detox. Outside of the fact of the obvious, your ankles or your wrists or achiness in the joints, what are some subtle signs that people may not even be aware of that is an indication that they need to do a liver detox?
Oh, skin itching, the gas and bloating. So for the most part, we process everything, also environmental chemicals that are all over, where everything goes through our liver. And it's really a matter, it's an opportunity, as the weather is changing and there's more light, that our body, whatever we, as animals, we still put on more weight in the winter time, right? So this is an opportunity to go with the season and release any kind of metabolic waste and stuff that has been building up throughout the system. So if you're stressed out, all of those stress hormones, they hang out in your body and your organs. And they need to process through the liver. Anybody who is taking cholesterol medication, right? Anybody who is diabetic or pre-diabetic, any of that, if you have a problem with weight, like losing weight, then we're looking at that the system, there's some kind of congestion in the system. So it's like where to start. Like this is a good way to start in terms of, and gently, right? So the suggestions that I'm talking about are very gentle. Like anybody can drink a little more water with lemon, and then maybe have a little bit of tea, right? To just start out, to clear out, and don't eat like sugary foods and things like that, to start. So you give your body assistance, right? Of course, there are more extreme kind of detox programs, but for someone really trying it out, I would say start there. And how do you know? You don't feel good. Most of the time you don't feel good, or you're tired. A lot of fatigue is really a good indication that maybe you've got congestion, right? Some congestion going on in the liver.
I like the fact that you said start gentle, because that was going to be my question. What, like, and you said that they could use the dandelion tea. So should they do like 1 or 3 times a day? Like when you say gentle, because that's going to be the main thing. How often? Because on the back of the box it doesn't tell you, only drink one a day or whatever like that. When you're doing a gentle detox, and y'all know you still got to exercise and you still need to eat clean. That's going to be the best thing when you adding in all of the suggestions that Cholin is sharing with us today. So what's a good gentle start? Once a day with the tea, twice a day with the tea, or what would you?
I actually like twice a day if you can do it. And what you were just saying about, as people are exercising, right? The more they exercise, what do they release? They release a lot of lactic acid, and as people are burning energy, is actually more, the body can start to get flooded with these the what they call like the metabolic waste. And so someone who exercises really very vigorously, oftentimes they might feel sick after doing a workout, because all of a sudden their body is releasing all of these like chemicals, right, that are being metabolized. And so I would say at least twice a day if you can. And if you're a lot more exercising, I would do it like 3 times a day. Really like look at, and it's also a great way to substitute, a lot of the energy drinks that people drink or caffeinated drinks, to really substitute with a tea. It has less, and like dandelion tea has no caffeine. So we're looking at, you could also have like green tea is also very antioxidant. So these are like, things to look at, like like the things that people are drinking. And if you are gonna, have a beverage, why not have the beverage be something that's really gonna help you?
I agree with that. Now I have a suggestion, because not everybody celebrates Lent. But what I would suggest, that's a 40-day span that you can reevaluate what you're doing, and if you want to continue to go in the direction, which I would hope you would say no, that it's time for you to scrap and rework, because as Trolin said, you're feeling horrible, and you're getting your 8 or 10 hours worth of sleep, and you're still waking up feeling horrible, and you are grumpy and nasty to everybody because you're like trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not at my best. So when they do these herbal challenges, or I don't want to say challenges, for some people it will be a challenge, but using herbal medicine, it's not just tea. What are the some other herbs, because if I'm remembering correctly, what is it? It's apple cider vinegar makes a dry herb that they could put on food. Are you suggesting that they can do something like that? And are there any side effects?
So, because I don't know who is the audience. So what I'm offering is really what is kind of like, it's not going to do any harm, right? And and everyone, you have to know, like, this is not medical advice right here. These are just some suggestions for everyone to make choices. It's interesting what you say about the apple cider vinegar. I'd actually suggest having some pickled vegetables, like where you could almost like a coleslaw, or like the cabbage, the carrots, those kinds of things, because those are also those are like prebiotic and probiotic. And what that will do is that actually helps your gut. Now with vinegar, something like that, like the tartness, as soon as you start thinking about vinegar or sauerkraut or those pickled things, your mouth starts to water, right? You start to like feel like, even if you think about a lemon, like all of a sudden your saliva begins. And what that does is you start to release these enzymes that help with digestion. So in terms of how, yeah, and also as in one of the comments there, kombucha is one of them, is a drink that is also has the probiotics in, and we're looking at making digestion more efficient, and also helping your gut for inflammation. So
Now
those are
I
things that I would do.
now I like kombucha, but I also know that
It's a
they're
little
putting
alcoholic.
flavors in them. And so you got to be careful if you guys are doing that, because when you're doing a liver detox, you want to make sure that you're decreasing, as Cholin mentioned, that sugar intake has to be decreased. And a lot of times, some of these healthy options, they are not always palatable, and they put sugar in them because they, to get you guys to drink them. So you got to read those labels. So let me ask you this: do you have any suggestions on any clients that you've used, that you worked with, dealing with with the herbal sessions with them, to get them back to health?
Yes. Well, the first thing is, what I really like to do is try to get them, instead of, before I would add something in, I want them to kind of remove things, right? Because again, if someone has kind of congestion and inflammation, even if it's herbal, it is another thing that the body has to take on. So my suggestion is really like things like, eating more plant-based, stay away from dairy, like kind of any of the things that are inflammatory to get things moving. So if you imagine like when a drain is clogged, like let's say someone's liver is very congested, the last thing I want to do is try to push something down. I really want to pull something away, right? Instead of like putting more in, I want to kind of like, let's remove some of it so that way there's better flow. I also do suggestions of like if you lie down to twist your legs from one side to the next, because that action actually can kind of massage the organs, right? And helps with the circulation. And also breathing, doing some breathing exercises are also going to help oxygenate and clear out the body, to cleanse the body.
Now, I think you showed us an example of one of the breathing techniques, but do you mind doing it real quick just before we do?
Sure.
Actually, I think we need to stop right now
Okay.
to do a quick commercial break, and then when we come back on, will you show the breathing technique?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, when we come back from our quick commercial break, Cholin is going to show you guys a breathing technique that'll work, and it's for your digestion, right?
I think it's for actually helping with stress, like
Helping with
lowering the
stress.
stress. Yeah.
Okay, so when we come back, she's going to show you guys a quick breathing technique that'll help release stress. All right, see you in a little bit.
Calling all HBCU alumni, supporters, and golfers. It's that time of year again. Yes, the HBCU Swing Into Their Dreams charity golf tournament on Tuesday, April 5th. If you missed the last one, you have time once again to be epic. Don't miss the golf tournament of the year. The Swing Into Their Dreams HBCU charity golf tournament at the Atlanta National Golf Club in Milton, Georgia, Tuesday, April the 5th. Registration begins now. Sign up your golf teams at swingintotheirdreams.com. That's swingintotheirdreams.com or call 770-686-7148. That's 770-686-7148. Don't miss it.
We're back from our quick commercial break, and remember, I told you guys when we came back, Cholin is going to give us a demonstration on the breathing technique that you guys can use that'll help with reducing stress. So, Cholin, can you show us? Do you need me to be a demo, or you?
Sure, I can talk you through it, and it's actually it's known as like a 4-7-8 breath. So what you do, and what it does is it helps to calm your nervous system down, and it's really important because we're under so much stress, and the more stress we have, the more stressed we become, and it becomes very difficult to flip over to the parasympathetic nervous system, which actually helps to disseminate all the adrenaline and cortisol that builds up, right? So the more we have of the stress hormones, the more unhealthy it is for us. And we live in very stressful times right now. So the technique is where you would inhale for the count of 4. So it'd be inhaling 4, and then you hold it for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you exhale on 8. Just slowly 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? And so you can do that a couple of times, right? So it's on the like 4 counts on an inhale, and then you hold it for 7 counts, and then as you exhale, you slowly exhale on with 8 counts. And what I've also found is if you inhale through the nose and allow your belly to expand, and then you can, when you exhale, you slowly from the mouth. So inhaling through the nose, you have a lot more control, and you can take a deeper breath. If you inhale from the mouth, oftentimes we actually, the oxygen gets kind of stuck up higher in the lungs, right? So, and it's more of a shallow So really inhaling through the nose, we can actually direct the air deeper into the belly. And what that does is with the breathing, the slow breathing, is your diaphragm moves down, as it inhales, and then on the exhale it moves up like a bell. And that will also massage your organs, right? Helps your organs and your digestion, which is why with exercise too, we're moving and breathing, and in the end, it also like helps to bring circulation throughout the whole body and improve organ function.
Oh, I love that. Now I know, but I don't know why this question popped into my head. There are no herbs that will help someone with more oxidation inside their body. It is are there? There are.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, when you talk about oxygenation, so and this is a very I give this to my athletes, right? People who are running triathlons, marathons, Ironman, Iron Woman. And what it is that you want to be able to have the circulation to reach as to the periphery of your fingers and your toes. And this is also very good for people who have poor peripheral circulation, right? So the you want to have blood flow that actually will reach the entire, like kind of circulate throughout the body, right? To bring oxygen and then, the ATP, the energy to the muscles. And what you can do is you can use cinnamon. Cinnamon is something that increases the capillaries. It's dilates the peripheral circulation, right? That's why it's very warming. It's in so many different kinds of foods around the winter months. And so if somebody wants to increase oxygenation, of course you need to breathe, but also you need to circulate the oxygen. And so that's something that there are certain, when I do it with patients, there might be a formula that I do with them, but the prime ingredient is going to be or what the in terms of increasing the peripheral circulation, the dilation, is going to be the cinnamon, right? And it's pretty
Now,
safe.
is that just cinnamon right out the store? The cinnamon stick, organic
You can
cinnamon?
actually, yeah, I mean, you can get the powder, and you can put some in your coffee, right? You can do that. You could sprinkle it on top of your cereal with like flaxseed. I mean, it's very I mean, most cinnamon, I don't really know how much, if cinnamon is, if they're pesticides. I don't think so. It comes from the bark of a tree. And it's also very good for, it's an antifungal, right? Because there's nothing that grows on and they say on a cinnamon tree, there's no like bacteria or disease there. So we're looking at, has a lot of, healing properties. And it is a main ingredient in many, many Chinese formulas.
Oh, I love
So
that.
yeah. So with regard to formulas, I wouldn't, unless I have someone in front of me, because people have many different underlying conditions. It's very hard to recommend formulas, and then it wouldn't really be appropriate. But so again, research, cinnamon, but it's pretty safe. So
Let me ask you this because we talked a little bit about acupuncture before we got started today. Now, there is an insole that's becoming seriously popular, and it has the science backed by it. And all of the points are inside the soles of the insert that's supposed to hit on all of the acupuncture pressure points within your feet, and because inside you're better at this, so hopefully I'm explaining this the way I'm envisioning it. The each of the points on the bottom of your feet go to certain sections or organs within your body. Yes.
okay, so I think you're talking about reflexology. And I think I've seen those. Are they look like a map of the foot on the bottom, and then they have
Yeah,
like
and
little images.
Yeah, and then when you stick these inserts in your shoes, it's supposed to hit on each one of those points. Is that something that you're familiar with, or you will suggest to people? Because this is my first time hearing about these.
I've seen them, and so it's okay, so with reflexology, it's a little, there are acupuncture points that are on the bottom of the foot. Reflexology looks at a microcosm of the body that could be on the hand, it could be in the ear. I know we talked earlier about like also their ear points for, for weight loss. Um, and there are also, so our whole body has different maps. In particular, with those insoles, they are looking at reflexology where they can map out, let's say, one area relates to an organ. So you press that area, and then that goes to the function of that organ. With acupuncture, it's a different system. It doesn't work on the meridian system, right? So the meridian are the lines in acupuncture. Those are the energy lines, which I think we talked about in another one of our episodes, right? And so different system. However, it does have merit, right? Because there are different parts. We have many different areas that interconnect. So I don't really have an opinion about it in terms of like, is it good, is it bad? I think it's important to just as a whole thing, we're looking at all of the meridians. They begin and end on the hands and the feet, the tips. And so any kind of like stimulation of those, your feet, it's going to be good to be sending messages, like a feedback to the whole body. Very specifically, it's kind of very general. It's kind of like general massage. You're stimulating your skin surface, which is the largest part of your nervous system, right? It's an extension of your brain. Technically, your skin is. So you can like, oh, I'm rubbing every part. It's gonna overall wellness. If you have a particular condition, then you want to be more specific.
And that's when the acupuncture would come in with the needles.
Be acupuncture, or also if it's reflexology and you go to see somebody who knows, they can actually treat according to those different reflex points.
Now, I love tapping, but I also know that that's also hitting on acupuncture pressure points. So,
Yes.
my question is it a good idea to do like all three of them together or one at a time? So, because I don't know, like with exercise, you can't do spot reducing. You need to take care of everything. So when you're doing acupuncture, is that similar where you need to kind of, can you spot reduce with let me just do it like this. Can you work on one area at a time, or do you need to do the whole thing? Because I know when you do tapping, that's a different, as you were mentioning, meridian points that you're touching on. Acupuncture is totally different because you're using the needles then with tapping, and then with the inserts, those are totally different. Can you do them all together, or should you not?
I mean, let me think about this. Well, I mean, if you're walking around with insoles, that's fine. It's going to also massage the foot. If anything, it's still going to like give good circulation to the foot at the base level, right? It's not going to hurt you in any way. It's going to help to stimulate the nervous system. What I would say is everything relates together. So whatever you're doing in one area, it definitely influences. We're looking at the body as like a whole system, right? So even if you're working on one area, remember energy is flowing, right? And you access the body through there are many different ways of helping someone to heal, right? What I would say is you don't want to send confuse, like if you do a lot of stuff on the same day, then you don't give the opportunity of the body to integrate or get the messages, right? So yes, the more complex a condition somebody has, I generally recommend the more simple a treatment, because otherwise the body's getting way too many messages. So
Gotcha.
again, it's like what we talked about earlier about detoxing. It's like, okay, if someone is so congested, they're already in inflammation, I'm going to like add something else in that I don't want to contribute to the inflammation. I kind of want to make it so it's easier for the inflammation to leave, and then we can look at other things, right? So
Gotcha.
the same with those treatments, or like, with exercise, you like one day you're exercise out, you can exercise every day, but then you're kind of alternating so
Right. So
that the
you're not
body.
overdoing it. So it's okay. So great. I'm glad you said that. So guys, we talked about the liver detox and how you know when you need to do a detox. You're grumpy, you got itchy skin, you're bloating, you're gassing, and then she gave some alternatives for not necessarily for a liver detox, but it does assist with helping with that situation. And that's where we started on the breathing technique. And then we start talking about acupuncture, because that is a really good alternative that'll help kickstart your liver getting back onto a healthy state. So we only have about 2 or 3 minutes. Cholin, tell them how they can reach you. And if you're taking new clients, tell them that
I'm
too.
definitely I'm taking new people. And also what I really want to say is, like, if somebody is feeling that they want to do a liver detox, to like speak to you or contact me or something, so that, they're getting guidance, right? Because some people like, I really want to do it. I need it. Okay. But we want to do things safely. We don't want
Right.
to, because then, so that's what I would say. I have a website, the integrativehealingarts.com is a great way. There's a contact there. I am also on Instagram, which is Integrative Healing Arts NYC on Instagram. Um,
So we guys, go check out her website, go check out her on Instagram, and then, as she said, gently move into healing yourself. You can reach out to her or you can reach out to me. You can go to WYTV7, go to the broadcast tab, and click on Simply Fit. You'll reach me. We broadcast every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you guys don't miss any segments. And Cholin is coming back. She's blessing us with more knowledge. She'll be back on next month, so please don't miss any of the segments. Check your time zone, because we want to make sure you guys get this information so you can meet, exceed, and reach your goals. Until next week, we love you guys. Bye, Cholin.
Bye. Thank you.